Hey my friends, Chad Hymas here. This week's topic, wanting to share with you how to be brave and confident in your life. Now keep in mind, bravery and confidence, there's a big difference between having confidence and having an ego. So confidence is just simply having the belief that you can do something. The belief that you can accomplish a task. And bravery requires you to be willing to make mistakes. These are the principles I want to talk about today. So let's start off here as we go back. Let me take you back 17 years ago. 17 years ago when the doctors told me I would have to dream new dreams and think new thoughts. They told me that my life would be different, that I would have to eat different foods, that I would have to learn to court my spouse differently, that all these changes were going to transpire. I would have to raise my kids a different way. And all these fears about me being a parent and about me being able to be active in their life, and this fear about even wanting to be alive. Remember, fear and confidence cannot exist in the human mind at the same time. So you're either afraid or you're confident. There's very little gray area there. Fear and confidence cannot exist in the body and the mind at the same time. So all these fears began to surge to my body when I heard all this news that I was going to be paralyzed for the rest of my life. That the doctors couldn't fix it. The fear of not being married, the fear that she was going to leave me, the fear of financials, how to take care of the family, the fear of being a basketball coach, the fear of, how am I going to coach those kids, the fear, are they going to accept me, the fear of living. Do I want to stay alive? And where am I going to find the confidence to boost that back up? And am I going to be able to do that? And what I learned was, and what I have learned in order to find that, is that sometimes the challenges that you and I face, the paralysis, the patterns that need to be broken, the things that we see as very, very challenging, turn out to be our greatest strengths and help us have the courage to learn what confidence is and to be brave. Let me give it to you this way. Weakness can be a marvelous teacher. Pain can be a marvelous teacher. The problem is sometimes you and I will experience pain in our life, emotional pain, physical pain, mental pain. When I broke my neck, that was a physical pain, then the emotional pain after of wondering what was going to happen in my life, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, lack of reassurance, lack of bravery. The uncertainty of what was going to happen with my future, uncertainty, doubt, and fear, all those existed. And what I've learned is that all those feelings can be a marvelous teacher if I'll listen to them. The problem is sometimes you and I have pain in our life, like an addiction, and we put a Band-Aid fix over it, and we wonder why it never goes away. People go to jail, they experience pain. They don't like the 8x8 cell. And they wonder why they keep going back. It's because they didn't hear the message of the pain. People get in an argument with a spouse and they wonder why they keep arguing with their spouse. They should wonder why. They didn't hear the message of the pain. Kids, youth, young adults, they experience uncertainty, lack of courage, lack of self-confidence, depression. They go through those pains and they wonder why it never goes away. And it's because they don't embrace it, hear the message of the pain, and do something about it to change it. So there's two options, the way I see it. You stay caught up in the lack of confidence, the lack of self-esteem, and you stay stuck in that wheelchair. Or you can get out of it, so to speak. And only you can make that choice. And I have found that when I try, just some effort, when I try to be brave about what's unknown about my future and try and have some confidence, when I try some new things about getting dressed, when I try a new way of courting my spouse, when I try to play basketball with my kids without the use of my fingers, when I give an effort to push a wheelchair that I've never pushed before in my life, when I try and get on an airplane, when I try and shower differently, when I try and eat different foods so I can learn to control my stomach and how my operating system works, my intestines, when I try new things, we tend to embrace change and pain rather than run away from it, because we understand that pain and change and challenges helps us to not only become more brave and to have more confidence, but it helps us to be a happier and a more productive person. And in that process, the greatest thing of all happens. Here it is. You and I reach the potential that God wanted us to reach in the beginning. You know what's sad? Some people never find out what that potential is.